Hi everyone, lovely to meet you all. I'm Neelam, as per the introduction, and this is Jack. Hi. And we're here to talk to you about untapping creative potential, and aptly following the session that we listened to, if you are all in the room with us, talking about addressable TV and the opportunity that is still remaining in the market. And there was a lot of discussions, if you were in the room before, around acronyms, AVOD, BVOD, but what a landscape and how it's developed over the last 10 to 15 years. So many SVOD players, so many BVODs, everyone's developing. The industry is evolving so rapidly. SVODs aren't staying in their lane anymore. BVODs are growing and evolving. And as part of that, AVOD, addressable, and advertising video on demand, BVOD, broadcaster video on demand, I want to introduce another acronym, CVOD, connection to VOD, and how we drive that and how that grows and how we evolve. And we'll touch on creative as part of that.
Yeah, and as Neelam describes, obviously this is a really complex, evolving and kind of ever-changing landscape that we operate in. So something that we spend a lot of time, resource and effort on at Finecast is undertaking new bits of research to help us understand this environment, but not just us and for us internally. We try and share that more broadly with the broader industry at events like this, and also publishing thought leadership pieces on our website and things like that. And one of the things we wanted to touch on today was some of the work that we did with Amplified Intelligence that looked into attention specifically. And through this research, we really wanted to tap into a topic that's, there's a lot of attention around attention. Even just looking at this event today, there's a lot of different talks around attention. We've got a stage named after attention. So we wanted to put our own point of view out there on attention. So we partnered with Amplified Intelligence to do that. One of the key findings that we got from our research was actually its platform that is a real primary driver of the level of attention that your ads can get. And once you optimize within that, there's lots of different levers that you can pull to help maximize that level of attention. So that might be the creative messaging that you have and the relevance and resonance of that messaging. It might be the audience that you're targeting. It might be the actual brand cues that you have within creative. So there's lots of different levers that advertisers can pull, but that all operates within that platform level of attention. And thinking specifically around TV, addressable TV, OTT, BVOD, what we saw was those platforms have a really great level of potential for driving sustained attention across the course of an ad. So if you look at the chart on the left-hand side there, the red and blue lines are essentially how level of attention changes over the course of a 15-second ad for TV and OTT. And you'll see it's essentially a horizontal line. The level of attention at the start is basically the same as that at the end. So you get a really good amount of time with your viewer to impart some of your creative messaging that you've put into your ad. Whereas if you compare that to the two channels that are more scrollable, digital type channels that are in the yellow and green lines there, you can see that you get a really high level of attention for the first 1 to 3 seconds, but that quickly decays. And if you think about the sort of area under the curve as the amount of time that you get with your viewers and your audience, it's quite clear that TV and OTT give you a larger amount of time to work and deliver your messaging.
And at Finecast, we believe all reach is not measured equal. And this goes to prove that, and actually driving that connection with your users, driving attention, driving engagement in a different way helps to elevate and retain and make your budgets go further.
Yeah, for sure. I think one of the themes that comes through from a lot of our research is just the power of TV and addressable TV in particular. And something else that we focused in on last year was some work with University College London to look at really the difference between exposure to addressable advertising in TV versus non-addressable, and looking at different types of response to that type of advertising. So we conducted a 2-stage experiment with UCL. The first part was a behavioural element, and that looked at things like strength of brand recall, speed of brand recall, when people have been exposed to addressable advertising versus non-addressable. And what we saw was a really a really strong effect in terms of strength of recall and speed of recall as well when you're watching an addressable ad that's relevant to you versus one that is perhaps less relevant. The second part of the experiment was probably the more first of its kind, and a real TV first, actually. And here we work with the cognitive neuroscience team at University College London, working with some real experts, not like myself, actual professors. And what we did was we worked with them to identify 4 key areas of the brain. So I don't know if you guys will be able to see at the back, but these 4 images here are actually brain scan images relating to the different areas of the brain that light up when that type of response is happening. So we focused on attention, emotion, reward, and memory. And obviously, as advertisers, we know that those areas are really important for brands to be able to elicit a response from when viewers are watching that creative. And the results that we found were really quite striking in terms of what we termed an addressability uplift effect. So across all 4 of those areas, we saw that when you watched an ad that was addressable and relevant to you, you saw a much stronger reaction in that part of your brain related to all of these 4 areas versus when you watched an ad that wasn't relevant to you or wasn't addressable to you. So it's just a really strong proof point about the real strength of addressable TV as a medium for delivering messages, building emotional connections, and retaining memory structures for brands.
And when we talk about addressable TV, we talk about finding the right audience across the right ecosystem, across all of our demand and supply at the right time. So really trying to optimize the media spends, your budgets to help it go further. But really it's about data-driven, but really effective data-driven targeting and creative.
Yeah, definitely. And on that point of effectiveness, it's not just research that makes us so confident in the power of addressable TV. We've worked with countless brands and advertisers now and have got a lot of different case studies on the actual in-market impact of addressable TV campaigns on various different KPIs. So that could be more top of funnel things like brand awareness and mental availability, moving into the kind of messy middle and looking at perhaps impact on web traffic, right down to the lower funnel and impact on sales and customers. And we work with various different partners to help us run those sort of testing experiments in market when we've got campaigns live to help prove out that effectiveness.
So what does this all mean? We're really good at optimizing media. And we've heard discussions throughout the last 2 days about how this is evolving, how we're breaking down silos. But really, media optimization is one half of this conversation. We're here to talk to you about creative optimization.
Yeah, and I mean, just to add a bit of data into this to really prove why creative is so important. The data on the left-hand side is some data pull from Nielsen Catalina that shows essentially the levers that can be pulled by advertisers to actually generate business impact. And you'll see the left-hand side of the chart is essentially all creative. There's a lot that media can do on the other half of the chart, but creative is also a really massive focus, and it's a real area that we are putting a lot of thought into as a business, and it's a real priority area going forwards.
So really, we want to talk to you as industry leaders, as thought leaders, about taking optimized media and optimized creative and elevating to get to a better advertising experience for brands and viewers. Ultimately, in this symbiotic ecosystem that we all live in today, where TV is still a predominant point of consumption, connected TV and how that's just been debated, really is driving attention. It's still a real focal point in the household, and there's still so much more opportunity left to really take your budget and elevate to the next level.
Yeah, and we wanted to just give you an actual example of a bit of a fusion between that media optimization and creative optimization. So we've got an example here actually run by our colleagues in the Germany Finecast team working with KFC and the Mindshare team, where they really wanted to put together an addressable media plan through addressable TV with addressable creative and creative optimization. So how this campaign worked was KFC wanted to promote various new products to a set of 3 predefined audiences. They also wanted to overlay a geographic element into the targeting, so they wanted to make sure that media was only served to those who lived within a certain proximity to their set of restaurants in Germany. So what the team did was they worked with the client to implement that media strategy, but they also took it further and worked on the creative itself. And it's been playing in the background as I was speaking, but essentially how it worked was there was 10 seconds of the ad that was a standard sort of brand level creative that stayed constant across all of the delivery, and then the remaining 20 seconds was fully dynamic. So the product range and the products featured could be swapped in and out depending on the audience being served to, and also a QR code linking directly to the local store was also dynamically inserted so that the relevant store was being linked to. So the combination of the media targeting that we were able to employ plus that dynamically served advertising element really worked well. There's a few key stats on the slide that show that not just the campaign didn't just drive strong reach amongst the target audience, it also showed really strong engagement with the creative and scan throughs from the creative itself.
Thanks, Jack. And we've been working with partners that have been here today, System 1, to help optimize creative as much as possible. And this is a real opportunity. Finecast globally served 11 billion impressions last year. And of that, only, less than 1% of that was creatively optimized. Finecast UK on Monday launched a regional campaign, and one of our biggest travel company partners with creative optimization in place. We're really excited to see what the outcome of that is, and we look forward to sharing that when we can. But there's a real opportunity here. We can really make your budgets go further. We really want to learn. We want to work with you to test, try, bring creativity and creative optimization into your thinking and into your planning. So we're optimizing across the board, trying to find the right audience, the right creative at the right time, and really build on that connection. So we have an aim, and we're challenging ourselves. We'd love for you guys to come on this journey with us, that by 2026, all of the Finecast creative is optimized 100%. And we think there's a real value. There's lots of opportunity here. We really want to learn. We really want to try. It's been an interesting observation. There's been so much in the market in the last couple of years about addressable creative optimization. Finecast has really strong data partnerships, finding the right audiences, and really building on that emotional connection. So that's it from us. Thank you very much. We welcome your questions.
Thank you.